Welcome to F&M. We're really excited to see everyone in just a few short weeks, and we hope you're excited too.
We know that you've been receiving a ton of information in emails, but what we're about to tell you is some really important stuff.
Listen up, because we want to make sure that you know how to keep our campus sustainable this year.
Well, what is sustainability? Environmental sustainability is the act of maintaining a responsible relationship with our environment. This helps to avoid depletion of our natural resources as well as allowing long-term environmental quality. Sustainability ensures that the resources we're using today are still around to be used in future generations. In order for something to be considered sustainable, you have to be able to do it or use it forever and ever. When it comes to environmental sustainability, there are three categories: renewable resources, pollution, and non-renewable resources. In order for a resource to be considered renewable, it has to be able to be replenished faster than we harvest it. Pollution. How can pollution be sustainable? Well, pollution is the thought of as sustainable as long as the rate that we put the pollutant out into the environment does not exceed the environment's capacity. Finally, in order for a non-renewable resource to be sustainable, the rate at which we use it up cannot exceed the rate at which it is replaced by renewable substitutes. Here at Franklin and Marshall, there are many ways we can act sustainably. We can take shorter showers, conserve electricity, bike rather than take Ubers, and most importantly, we can recycle and compost whenever possible.
So what is recycling? Many of you already know how and why we recycle, but let this serve as a refresher. Recycling is the act of processing waste into reusable material. This means that instead of having to harvest more and more material to make more and more products, we can reuse the material that we have already harvested. Obviously, recycling is way better than just throwing something out. However, it's even better to reuse than to recycle, as it cuts out processing material into products entirely. Take a disposable water bottle, for example. You won't find any of these to recycle at F&M because our campus does not sell them. Instead, the bookstore sells awesome reusable water bottles that you can fill up at different refill stations across campus. Here at F&M, we're very lucky to have an environmentally conscious company to process our recycling. Penn Waste Management is able to recycle many things that other companies can't, including plastics 1 through 7 and plastics that aren't in the form of a container, like oatmeal carton lids. In addition to this, they recycle paper, cardboard, electronics, and batteries. Now, where can you recycle? The answer is simple: everywhere. Paper, cardboard, and plastic bins can be found at every building on campus. Just look for the recycling sign. You can drop off your electronics at the loading dock of Hackman Hall and your batteries by the mail services in the basement of the Steinman College Center. At F&M, you're just as likely to come across a recycling bin as a trash can, so what's stopping you from helping our planet?
What is composting? Composting is another important activity here at Franklin and Marshall College. Composting is the act of taking trash and decomposing it into soil. As it decomposes, important nutrients are returned back to the soil for the cycle of life to continue. Composting improves soil moisture and provides a healthy base for plants to grow while reducing waste at the same time. In 2014, F&M generated 73 tons of compost waste alone, or 146,000 pounds. Our compost gets sent to Oregon dairy farms where it is mixed with manure and compost from other places before being made into an awesome fertilizer. Some of this fertilizer then comes back to the campus and is spread on the dining hall's vegetable garden. How does composting work? Composting material, which is comprised of nitrogen and carbon, is placed in huge piles within large tents. Bacteria, heat, moisture, and air are needed in order to break these products down efficiently. Materials are placed in alternating layers of nitrogen and carbon and turned over using large machinery every 2 weeks. How can you compost on campus? In the dining hall, there are 2 large compost bins on either side of the dish disposal area. Every piece of food and every plate, napkin, and utensil from Kivo can be disposed of these bins. In the Steinman College Center, there is a compost bin next to each recycling and trash can. Here, all food products and all paper products can be composted. At Common Hour, the same system exists. You can also find places to compost at certain house events, and you can get your own compost bag by contacting the dean or don of your house.
We hope you've learned a lot in the last few minutes and that you're eager to come to F&M and live sustainably.